Now, coming to the main important issue is that fair. Are we following the fair rules of globalization? Now the struggle is going on for fair issue of globalization. Globalization is really good. It gets the investment for us. It provides opportunities for us. It elevates the people. It brought the technology for us into day-to-day life. It brought more comforts for us. It brought more choices for us. It has many things for us positives. We have seen the negatives like small entrepreneurs, small people can't get the additional benefits. Now coming to the fairer issue here, are all the people getting the same benefits? For example, you see the skilled people are educated people. The educated people are bestowed with the best qualities of opportunities here. They are getting the maximum benefit what they can get. But when it comes to the uneducated people, those who are working as laborers there, are they getting their wages properly done? If the wages are not properly given for them, whom has to be addressed here? A multinational company is having its head office somewhere in America and it runs it in India or in somewhere in Bangladesh or in Egypt or in Korea. Whom has to be questioned here? Are we going to get the answer for this? Are the Americans going to address the issue this seriously? Who has to take the serious action against it? The government or the World Trade Organization, which is set up with the purpose of fairer global rules and regulations, can make this issue a global scenario and make fairer rules. What is required for us is a fairer rules. The rules which are equal for all and benefits for all, not only for the rich people, not only for the powerful governments, even for the weak countries, the small nations, the developing countries, the workers of the developing nations should get the ability to talk and get their issues discussed and the problems to be solved completely to eliminate their issues, because the fairer rules only can get the benefits for the wages of the workers, not anything else. And coming to the other issues, are the developed countries really following the rules and regulations here? For example, if you see the issue here, America have investment of 16% in the World Trade Organizations, and coming to the Japan and France, they have 3 to 7% each. And when it comes to the India and China, the influence is very less. Yes, do we have some vote majority here, but is the issue to be addressed clearly? Because the America word is final. The chairman or the president of World Trade Organization is elected by American president only or nominated by the American president only. Most of the times they are Americans only. It means clearly evident that World Trade Organization is controlled completely by the Americans, and 16% of the investments are getting from the Americans. So most of the words are clear stands which made by the Americans only. They don't hesitate to follow the guidelines of the Americans, which means that the developed countries are restricting the developing countries to have their words up. This has to be addressed fairly. If this is not addressed fairly, very soon the developing countries are going to drip down. It may lead to a loss of the nations. Then the MNCs which are investing in that areas also may face the problems. So it should be addressed very seriously, and a majority of the people may be in troubles, and which may lead to another French Revolution where the employees have revolted against the workers who are not paid well, were revolted against them, who are not having the proper piece of bread for them available. So that may lead to any revolts. We can't predict any future if the problems are not solved seriously. Today we are in the modern period. A revolution can catch at any point, any moment, any situation without having any obstacles for it, and media has got its own hype, which any small issue can be created into an international issue and can be an international scenario here. And the other issue what is to be think is nationalism. Is globalization killing the concept of nationalism? Do you agree with this? Yes, there is some version listening to the obstacles that nationalism is no more present. We have an internationalism. We are not confined to any particular nation. These words are very good to listen and to understand it. But at the same time, every people have their own belonging to a particular nation. When we go and say to them that you don't belong to this nation, you have to belong to that nation, it does not mean fair to them. Yes, you have opportunities, you can acquire something, you can know the knowledge, you can acquire the ability, you can utilize the opportunities and get developed, move on, get advanced. It does not mean that we have to forget our motherlands. The globalization concept is a threat for nationalism. This nationalism has to be addressed very seriously. It does not mean that doing investment will curb the rights of the people belonging to that particular nation. Yes, we have the investments from the other countries only for the purpose of business and free and fair trade to be done for that purpose. It does not mean it's going to hurt the national feelings of any nation. Once it starts touching the national feelings, again it may raise the other political issues. It may lead to the political disaster or a revolution. which is another major threat which has to be addressed regarding the nationalism. And coming to the culture, what about the culture of a nation? Because we are having the rapid movement of the people from one nation to another nation in search of their jobs, which made them to get intermingled with other people, and sometimes people settled here. For example, we have people settled in India from various states to other states. In the same way, we have settled Indians in Canada, in UK, in Britain, in all these places, which does not mean that they have to forget their culture. Every culture has its own values and its own presence, its own flavor, that should be preserved very carefully for the future generations.